Hey, what is up, guys and girls? It's your boy Farai, the producer. Today I'm be giving away some free presets. So stick around and I'm gonna show you guys how to install them. And I'm gonna run through all of the presets right here. And yeah, let's get it, man. So first thing I'll show you is what is inside the kit. So when you download the folder, you'll find you got some compressor plugins, vocal plugins, presets, sorry. You got limiter presets, a few mastering presets, vocal presets again, panomatics, just some cool stuff to pan your vocals. You're gonna have the Fruity Parametric 2. I've included a lot of stuff in here, so you got lots of cuts, emulations of other equalizers. You got master channel EQ, vocal effects, and we got some reverb, vocal sends, and some pitcher as well, so we can do some auto tuning. But let's check it out inside FL. So first off, I'll just run through the pitcher plugin. And the pitcher is an interesting plugin, man. I really like this plugin. To me, it sounds a bit better than the Antares. Obviously, you can't do as much, but in terms of just pure aesthetic and auto-tune, I think it sounds really cool. So included in the pack, you'll find these 3 plugins. So they're all labeled with Farai first, so you can find them. So this one's called, I swear I didn't use auto-tune. And pretty much what it is it's a really minimal amount of auto-tune happening. You can't really hear when I turn it on. But when you sing with about 20% on, it'll just get your song, it'll get your voice in key to the song. And one important thing is to make sure that you actually find the key of your song, otherwise the auto-tune won't work. So that one's at about 20%. This one is a bit more noticeable. It's about 70%. You can hear it's got a lot of auto-tune. And the last one is T-Pain on deck. And obviously that's a lot of auto-tune. And as I say, make sure that you find the key of your song. So yeah, that's what you'll find in the pitcher file, which is right there. 3 plugins, presets. And before I forget, I'm just going to show you where to actually install these plugin presets. So the long way around is actually to go into your hard disk, program files 32-bit times 86, and then just type I a few times until you find image line folder, and then go to FL Studio, whatever version you're using, it doesn't matter. Go to data, patches, and you'll find a folder called plugin presets. And you want to go to effects, because anything in the mixer rack is an effect. It affects the audio signal. Go into effects, and then you can just sort the presets out. So let's say you want to put the limiter vocal presets into FL limiter. All you'll do is drag that folder into there, and there you go, boom. You could also just drag the presets alone in there, but the cool thing about FL is if you drag a folder in there, it'll actually name it for you. So like the EQ, I've included cuts, emulations, master EQ, and it's all sorted for you. But yeah, just to get that out the way. Cool, next thing we're gonna check out is the EQ. Okay, so pretty much in the EQ, we've got some cool vocal effects. I'm sorry that my mouse is clicking so much, I click a lot. And I'm getting messages, but I'll reply later. So pretty much we got bass reference EQ, just to hear how much bass you got in your vocals. So you can drag that around just to find where your resonant bass frequencies are. You know what I'm saying? I hope you could hear that. And there you go. This is just a really light cut, another light cut, another light cut. You got a low pass, which you can use, you can do the EQing yourself to give you like a Drake effect or something. This is a traditional 60 Hz cut, so you'd find this on a mix or something, just a nice hard cut, cutting the bass out. Then we got a 8000 Hz cut, which is really more of an effect rather than actually mixing your vocals like this. You've got a traditional 80 Hz cut, which I'm using that right now on there, plus boosting and whatnot. And there you got a soft roll off, so if you feel that this one is a bit too harsh, you got this option as well. Then you got this, and pretty much you can use that as an effect if you want. Then we got this cool little telephone effect. You know, it's nice to play around with. And we've got the DS. So pretty much I've included some really bad frequencies here that you can use to just to cut, you know what I mean? You can play with that and pretty much just get rid of all the hiss in your vocals. You can move it around, but generally it's between 7.7 thousand hertz and 11 and 13,000 hertz, let's say. Cool, so that should... Oh, and we got the vocal dimmer, which pretty much just, if you got a USB microphone or something, or just a cheaper microphone that has a harsh high end, you can use that just to reduce some of that high end from there. Cool, next we have some mastering effects. So if you were doing your own project, you could throw this on the master channel. Master channel's over here. You could use that just to, you know, so the first one is add air. So I've added some high frequencies, you know, 4,000 hertz and a bit of a high boost over there. Next one is to add thickness. So we've got a boosted 130, but a low end boost, reducing some of the mud. And as you can hear that you can kind of hear the difference. It adds a nice like radio, you know, feeling to it. Next we got mud removal. So if you feel like your mix is too muddy, you can do that and just get a nice, like, you know, less muddy sounding track, you know what I mean? Next we have EQ start, which is just, you know, you can play around. You got a boost going on at 44 hertz for the sub bass, 230 hertz just to get rid of the mud. And same, we got some de-essing going on there. Not really de-essing, but just getting rid of, you know, those high frequencies that you don't like. Nice 4,000 boost. Cool, so you can use that. Master channel EQ, can't miss it. Next we got the vocal EQ effects. Pretty much what that is, it's just some cool, you know, effects you can play around with. You know, we got the female vox. This sounds really nice personally, I feel like, with as a starting point for female vocals. You know, getting rid of the 200, 300, adding a nice boost, getting rid of a lot of the low end, because with female vocals you don't need too much bass. Cool, this is NC's preset, man. This is a rapper I work with a lot, and with this and him on hip hop beats, this sounds great. You got, I don't know if I'm really boosting anything there, but I am boosting a lot in the lower mid range. As you can see there, soft roll off, sounds sweet with rappers with a lot of bass in their voice. And this is a Radio 2, and pretty much that's just a remix of, there's a preset here in FL called the Radio. So you can see I've slightly moved it around, and to me it sounds pretty cool. I quite like using it on rap songs, you know, and as a backup track or something like that. Steffi Vox, if you guys are doing any voiceovers, this is really nice for female voiceovers. I used this on an audiobook we did. You got verse stereo, and pretty much what this is I use this as an EQ. Oh, my FL's frozen. It always happens, never mind. I use that for my vocal doubles, so I would put an EQ here of this, EQ there, and then drop the level, and then you got a nice kind of, you know, delayed sound going on there. But anyway, next we have Vox cut, which is just another Vox cut, and we got another radio effect. Lots of cool radio. I don't know why I named it Win Vox, but whatever. Cool, guys. Next we've got, and girls, next we got the compressor section. I'm not gonna really let you guys hear what that sounds like because I am already compressing. That would just be like false advertising. But pretty much the presets I've provided for here, you'll see they're all labeled Farai, and we got a nice hard vocal compressor, and you guys must just adjust the threshold to whatever you feel is right. So let's say my level's at -6. Yeah, it is about -6 there. You can adjust that to -6. You got a pretty hard ratio going on there, fast attack, really fast release, fairly fast release, hard compression. So that would be for a fast rap song or something like that. You guys can play around, and girls. Digital preamp, it's exactly the same as what I always do. I always add a little bit or just enough audio interface preamp gain, and then I use digital gain just to boost the signal, just so we don't get a lot of analog noise. We get more digital signal than analog noise. It's a little cheat code you can use. And yeah, it's pretty much just 15 decibels of gain, no compression, no threshold, no nothing, just pure gain. And next we have the in the middle compressor, which is really, as I said, adjust threshold, slow attack, slow release, fairly subtle ratio. But again, you can adjust the gain to whatever, in relation to how much compression is happening. Medium compression, what is this called? The knee compression, so how fast the compressor kicks in. Then we got an old school type compressor, vintage type, bit of makeup gains, slow release, fairly fast attack, and fairly slow release, adjust threshold. Next we got soft vocal compressor, and I would recommend using this as a starting point on all your tracks. So it's pretty much adjust threshold, fast attack, great for rap, fast release, great for rap, soft attack. It doesn't really affect the signal too much, but it does shape the vocal nicely. Next up we got squash it. So pretty much what I call squash it is like a really hard ratio, really fast attack, fairly slow release, so you get the real compressor effect, and the same as everything else. These two are pretty interesting because what I've done is I've actually forgot to show you with the parametric, but I've pretty much just modeled these presets based on on like the SSL type compressor. So if you don't want to buy this compressor, I've pretty much created a preset for that, that emulates that compressor. So you've got fairly fast attack, fairly slow release, 4.2 to 1 ratio, and the threshold you can keep the same. And as you can see, I have written here put at end, meaning put this compressor at the end of your vocal chain just to kind of glue all of your vocals together. Sounds sweet. Or you could just buy the SSL bus compressor. And this one is more true to the SSL, so I'll give you an example here. So the ratio is 2 to 1, so you can see a ratio 2 to 1. Attack is 10 milliseconds, 10 millisecond attack, and release is 48. And I don't know why I said it like that. I got these preset settings off of a website on the internet. They said you can use any compressor and emulate the SSL, without the hardware characteristic that this plugin would add. And the vintage type, so I'd guess this would pretty much be what that is right there. So you don't have to buy all the most expensive plugins to get a great sound. And there you go. That's pretty much sorry about the dropouts again. This video is pretty long, but is what it is if you want to learn. Next up we got the reverb, and reverb I just put here so I can remember where to put it again. Sorry about the delay. I don't know why, my computer's been on for like 3 days, so it's probably pretty tight. And pretty much what you want to do with this reverb is you don't want to put it on your actual recording channel. You want to put it on a send. So put it on channel insert 100 if you want, and then send your signal to there. So this preset here is called Chaos Reverb, and it's a pretty hectic reverb. You can use it as like a really dramatic effect if you want, but just mix it to taste. So I'll start it off nice and low, and it creates almost like a church sound, you know what I mean? Really deep, sick, like the Weeknd vocal. Off the lean is more like the Weeknd vocal. You can add an EQ and just mess around with that. You can get some cool sounds with that. Play around, it's experimental. And then we got the safety first reverb, which for me is like a nice starting point reverb. Great for rap, you know, just keep it nice and low in the mix and just adds like a nice little bit of sauce on there. Next one is the wet something vocal, inside joke there. And that's just the nice wet reverb you can add. You know, I would probably get rid of more the low end. And you got a really cool like pipeline sound reverb, whatever that means. Yeah, that's pretty much the fruity reverb. Next is Panomatic. And that really, you'll see there are no presets that come with this, so I just hooked you up. Haha. So hook tight left, you can add that to here if you don't want to pan. If you don't want to pan, you can add this. Hook tight, that's just the opposite. And verse left and right. So I hope you guys are listening on headphones so you guys can get the whole effect. But left and right exactly the same. You can play around with that, you know, add them on, do your double takes and add this on. Next up, oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys how I emulated kind of the Mag EQ, and that's also in this file here. I missed it. There you go. So Mag EQ, how this works is you don't want to move the actual frequencies. So where number 3 is, for example, you don't want to move that, but pretty much that emulates this plugin here. So for example, you've got sub bass, you know, remove sub bass, it's exactly the same as that to an extent. 40 hertz boost, 40 hertz cut. You've got a 40 hertz boost, 40 hertz cut. And you know, you got, what else is here? I've probably moved something. I have, so let's just go back. There you go, 160 boost, 160 cut, vice versa. You know, there you go. That'll be pretty much that. You know, you can use those, those are fun. That pretty much is already a finished preset. I'm pretty sure I included it, but that's, you know, that makes for like a nice airy vocal sound. As you can hear there, it's a lot more crisp. And we also have the Vox Ranger. So Vox Ranger, I've included pretty much the frequencies I feel are necessary. So we got 220 there, 330 there, 420 bro, 800 there, 1600 I guess, because that's 1K6, so I hope that's 1600. And 4000 I would think is a shelf boost, so there you go. Pretty much just emulations. And that's pretty much it, I hope you guys can use these presets. Hope you guys can make some great music with that. Please like and subscribe. Check the readme file if you guys do wish to donate like $1 or something. You know, I am giving you guys all of the presets that I have, that I use all day, every day. So if I can do it, you can do it. Make great music. And have a great January, everyone, man. Let's get this paper. Let's make great music. Like and subscribe. Do what it does. Farai signing out. Peace.